This is the dewberry, kind of like little bush dewberries here. The vines are not self-supporting, so they want to run on the ground. So if you want to get more dewberries per yard, you can put a tomato form here, the holder, the cone-shaped piece, put in there a couple years ago, and let them climb up on there. You can see all these dewberries here. These aren't ripe yet. The ones that are black like this are ripe. They're kind of messy, but they taste pretty good, but they're kind of fragile. Got seeds inside of them. But you get a whole bunch of this because they climb up on the form. And they have fruits on the branches or whatever, the vines that are usually the year before. So the one that's like this is probably not going to have any this year. It might this fall. Sometimes they go through 2 different seasons, but generally these go in bloom here around March, April to May. So I'll probably cut these back unless there's any place to do it. They kind of don't really have that much of a function. Unless you've got a trellis or something you can extend it to. When they're first, they have little white flowers. And then they go to, there's the very solid green ones, kind of turn red, and they're black. You pick them when they're kind of a real dark orangish, kind of a purplish black. Not orange, but they're black. Here's some that's just on a log pile. There's one. There's one. This is almost ripe. See, all these red ones are here. They do have little prickles on them. That's how you know this is not poison ivy. Some have 5 leaves, some have 3. But they've got little prickles on them. I believe poison ivy doesn't. So there's some in there. You can use them to make, you can eat them raw. You can wash them and use them to make jelly. But these are in the south, they're called dewberries. That one's just about ripe. Normally it's kind of considered a weed. So I've got some here in the yard that I like to pick every year. Okay, down here this is brackish water. And this actually goes underwater at high tide. And here's the dewberries. So they're kind of immune, at least around here, to salt water. This is zoysia grass. That's the dewberry. And then this is some torpedo grass I keep on cutting out. There's a little hole down there for a crab. Let's see. Oh, there's one in there. There's a little crab down in there. He's not going to come out now. I usually dig this up. This is an invasive grass, torpedo grass. It'll grow to 1 meter tall. And here's some grass that grows up. And this is the bulrush. It has a sharp, called needle rush. There's like a needle on there. It'll stick into you. But the dewberry here, it's going to go about this high and fall down. It's not like a blueberry that tends to go up vertically because it's got no structural strength on it. Here's what the flowers look like. Some that just flowered late. They're little white flowers. There's a flower that's going to come out. These will actually grow right into salt water. Here's some more dewberries. There's a better view of the flower. See, these have got 5. Some of these have got 3 leaves. I don't know if there's 2 or 3 different variations of this. These tend to get spread around by birds eat these, turtles eat these, whatever, and then it goes through their digestive tract, and then it spreads around, so it can just take over entire fields. There's a good view of the flower there. There's my hand for reference. And that's a knee from a cypress tree. And I usually flag these off so I don't hit them with the mower. Now this kind of a set of brambles here. You can notice this is a new growth for this year. But you notice there's some out here. And if you go out in the yard, there's some here. There's some growing over here. So it might be that some of this has got a root coming over. Not really sure about that. Haven't dug those up, but there's a bunch of little places here. So I don't know if that's being propagated by a root coming over here, or this is just seeds that dropped down there and popped up. See, these dewberries over on the porch, they've got 3 leaves, not 5. There's the blooms. Here's the immature berries. It's green. So there's a new shoot. They grow on the older shoots. So you get ones with 3 leaves. Here's some that are growing in a flower pot. So obviously the roots didn't, they could have come through the pot, but they probably were left here by a bird. The fruits probably got up in here and it sprouted from seeds. So here's some with 3 leaves, dewberries. We got some right next to it with 5 leaves. And there's some strawberries. I need to pull the weeds out around this. There's some with 3 leaves again. There's some with 5. But that's a different plant.